Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel for rule and teach all. To the Akims and the Iris and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity. To the brothers and sisters in the truth. Now, as a lot of us know, there's been a lot of uprising happening over the past few days. And it's still going on today. Now this screen here is showing some of the places where we've had this uprising. You've had Washington, and this is speaking about over in the Americas. You've got Washington DC, Indianapolis, New York City, Chicago. And we've also had some in other areas of the world. We've had them over in the continent of Africa, over in France, over in Italy. So really we can see the scriptures fulfilling. Now this video here, this is a live video, so they're still protesting even now. And here you see 3 other live streams, and I've got another one here. Now this is a live stream, but what I've done, I've paused it, and the reason why I paused it, it's just something I want to show. Like, with all that's happening in the world, now watch this.
Can you explain what just happened?
You need fucking change. We're not gonna get fucking change by just sitting around. I have to use my white privilege to get fucking change because this shit can't fucking happen anymore.
And really and truly, a white privilege ain't gonna bring us change. The only way we're gonna get change through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's how we're gonna get change. And that's what I wanted to show. Through all that's going on, Jake still find time to make mirth. This is a time when our people should be looking at the signs of what's happening. Brothers are actually prophesying of these things, and we see them coming through, coming to pass. So we should really be taking the time to get ourselves right with the Most High. But Jake still find time to be dancing and making mirth. Now, this is Luke 21 and verse 25. It says, "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring." Now it says there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. It's like the other night, a few nights back, I looked out and there was a crescent moon. It was a white crescent moon. About an hour or so later, I went out, looked at the moon again, and it was red. So we can see signs happening upon the nations. We can see signs coming to pass. And it says distress upon nations. And the plague that the Most High has been bringing distress upon all nations. All nations are in dire straits because of this virus. Everyone rushing to try and find, quote unquote, a cure. So it says, men's heart failing for fear. Now, right back now, the main people whose heart are failing for fear is Jake. The reason why this riot is going off in the first place, all this unrest, is because of what happened the other day with the officer who seemed to be kneeling on the brother's neck, which is meant to have killed the brother. But there's been many instances that's been caught on camera where our brothers have been just shot, murdered, and nothing ain't really done about it. But this one seems to be the one that has broken the camel's back, which is bringing all these protests that we're seeing, all this unrest. So it says, men's heart failing for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And this is the part of the prophecy that we're really waiting on. When Yahushua returns with the angels in them chariots, to put an end to all of this. Like this girl said here, get this back. She mentioned something about white privilege.
Hey, can you explain what just happened?
We need fucking change. We're not gonna get fucking change by just sitting around. I have to use my white privilege to get fucking change.
Yeah, she said she has to use her white privilege to get change, but this is when we're going to get change. It says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. This is when we're going to actually get change. You know, a white privilege ain't going to help us get change. You know, the white privilege, which is why we're in the situation we're in the first place. You know, why this world is in a state of confusion. It says, and when these things come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And this is a beautiful thing. You know, when we see these things happening, yes, they may be frightening. You know, some of us may be fearful. You know, the scriptures let us know we shouldn't really be fearful, but I can understand if it is, because these things are sort of terrifying. But at the end of the day, it says we should look up and lift up our heads. Why? Because our redemption draweth nigh. These things let us know that Yahushua, you know, what we read in verse 27, the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and glory. This is drawing nigh. And this is something we're meant to take, we're meant to be joyous about. Because at the end of the day, we'll never get rest in this kingdom. You know, white privilege won't help us get out the issues that we're facing. Only Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, will be able to get us out of the issue and the conditions that we're in, because he is the one who's the author of these things. So, this is Mark chapter 13 verse 8. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. So these things that we're seeing, these are the beginning of sorrows. You know, we've had the earthquakes, you know, with the famines. There's even famine going on now, which people don't really realize. That's because we can still get certain foods, you know. But these things are actually coming to pass. It talks about troubles. That's what's happening now. There's unrest, uprising, you know, and not just in the Americas, but it's actually kicking off over there quite a bit. As we can see here, this is just 4. And I know there's four more cities, or whatever they call it over there, you know. 4 more places. There's many places in America where these things are happening. But it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famine and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows, because there's still worse things to come. You know, you hear brothers prophesy about martial law. Now, this is coming in little by little, this martial law. There's a video here where they've actually, it says, the heading for this video, it says, police and National Guard shoot civilians on their own property, martial law declared. So, these things are coming in. Even though this is at a small level, you know, expect these things to get worse. And even over here in Britain, at the moment, you got people protesting over here. But what we're seeing in the Americas, these things are going to spread. You know, these things will get worse. As it says in Luke, it says these are the beginning of sorrows. So there's more sorrow to come. And when we read the scriptures, these things are going to get worse. But this video here, because like I said, brothers prophesy of martial law. But I just wanted to play this one here.
No, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Oh, go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in.
And that is a prime example of white privilege. You see a bunch of soldiers or police, whatever they were, marching down the street, telling everyone to get inside, and you're still standing on your doorstep flimming. You know, they're walking past your house telling them to get inside, And because of that mindset of that privilege, you still stand on your doorstep. So when that girl talks about she has to use her white privilege to stop this, it's not going to work. You know, with white privilege comes pride. So this is Mark 13:9. It says, "But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them." So these are things that we still got to come. You know, martial law on a larger scale. Yeah, but this is the bit that I want out of this whole video. Yeah, it says, "And the gospel must first be published among all nations." So to my brothers that's going out on the highways and edges, that's making videos to edify the masses, to wake up the people, to wake up Israel, just keep pushing, man. This, you know, what we're doing is actually bringing the kingdom in. Yeah, we need to get this message out across the four corners. You know, and because it's going out across the four corners, this is why these things are happening, why the Most High is starting to rise up now. You know, our people are waking up. You know, the elect is being sealed. So the Most High can forward these prophecies. So when we see these things, we need to lift our head high to know that our redemption is nigh. But to the brothers, just keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. Yeah. This ain't our rest. We know that. But we can see these things coming to pass. You know, this is something for us to take encouragement in. To know that the word that we're pushing, it will never go out void, because these are the Most High's words. Yeah? So just keep pushing, man. Keep pushing, and keep pushing some more. Whether it be by videos, whether it be by going out on the highways and byways till we can't go out there no more. But keep pushing, man, because we're bringing in the kingdom. And with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yekar Kadash, Kwam Yasha Allah.